Hello everyone, welcome to Optimal Timelines. I am your guide, Sean, in helping you to connect to your most optimal future timeline. So Tarotscope readings for the month of April 2022. Remember, you're going to want to watch two videos, one for your North Node by sign and one for your North Node by house. If you're unfamiliar with your North Node, there's going to be some links in the description box below to help you find, and also some videos about the North Node that you should watch if you care to. So let's get started on the readings. Okay, so this is going to be your monthly Tarotscope reading for the month of April 2022 for everybody with their North Node in Sagittarius and or the 10th house. So I'm going to connect to the energies and we can begin. I call upon my spirit guides and guardians and the wisdom of my ancestors to bring forth the information that's true and correct for all who see this reading, that it may bring them the most beautiful, happy life possible and set them on their most optimal future timeline. So may it be. Okay, so the spread on this side of the table represents the first half of the month from the 1st to the 15th, and this side over here represents the second half of the month from the 16th on. I did a book divination for all of the North Nodes by sign and house, and what came up for you, Sagittarius North Nodes, or in the 9th house, was developing your intuition in order to win. So to have more wins in your life day by day, week by week, month by month, it was about developing intuition, which is not an easy thing, and we'll kind of get into that. But you got the card here, the Six of Wands. Okay, victory, moving toward victory, and that's what this is about. This is about if you've experienced where, you might be seeing like, you want to get more wins in the win column. You want to get more marks in the wins column as opposed to the not winning column, and that's kind of what's coming up. Is the universe is really wanting you to develop your intuitive guidance. And the first half of the month, actually this whole month, there's going to be some opportunities to do that. I see some situations coming in for you for the first half of the month, where I see something regarding nurturing another, or like healing, both emotionally or actually like physical healing, but something in that realm. Some of you, like I said, may experience it. So somewhere around you, there is someone that is in need of healing, and it also could be yourself. And what's wanting to come in is the developing intuition. The reason it's important is with your South Node in Gemini and or the 3rd house, you North Nodes in Sag or the 9th house have a superpower. Now, most of you have this, you have a very, very sharp mind, intellect. Most of you have a good command of language, communication and whatnot. And even if it's not a command of language, it's, there's many forms of communication. So lots of you with your superpower of communication. So intellect and communication. But here's the thing. What's wanting to come up this month is situations are going to come up where your first inclination is to try to figure it out in your mind, like make a plan, use logic. So this is really about, this divination that came up was intuition over logic. So a situation comes up, it could be anything. It could be you are working out something in a personal relationship, work, friend, family, lover, whatever it is, okay? And there's a situation and what is wanting to come out is you to actually realize that the way that this is going to get helped is not through using, your mind. The weird thing about intuition is this. When I teach classes on, intuition, tarot, doing readings, various forms of divination, I always talk about how most people who don't understand intuition, they think that it comes like in the movies where all of a sudden, the hit's coming in and the person's body gyrates, or it comes as this thought of like, in these silvery clouds or whatever it is. Here, I got news for you, okay? Intuition comes as just like a normal thought or inclination that passes your mind. The hard part of intuition is not developing it, it's recognizing it. By recognizing it, you develop it, okay? I'll give you an example. If you're watching this reading and you have this north node, either by both sign and house or sign or house, okay? How many times in your life have you made a decision about something? From a small decision like, I'm not sure about this party, but it'd be good for me if I go because there's going to be people there that I could make connections with, or it's like FOMO, like fear of missing out, whatever it is. But you had a passing thought or feeling that you didn't want to or shouldn't go. Okay, so it could be something like that, or even like inclinations of like little passing thoughts about going in a certain direction in your career or with a friendship or whatever it is. So how many times have you like regretted a decision you made or a plan you made and you thought, you know what, like I should have followed my instincts? What that is when an intuitive thought comes in, a lot of times it clashes with logic. I'm telling you, a lot of times. And the hard part, and so you could be like, well, this doesn't make sense on a logical, level. I mean, quick story. I had a personal experience when I was in the wine business, and a job was offered to me through a friend. There was an opening at this company, this wine distributor, and everything looked good. Long story short, the company was like, I loved the people that worked there. Everything looked good. It was more money. Now, me personally, I live by readings. I live my life with readings, and important decisions, I always do readings for myself and people that are close to me, okay? Every reading I did, and I did a series over weeks, they offered me this job and I was going back and forth negotiating salary. They even came back and said, we'll bump up the salary. And I was like delaying it. And I did a bunch of readings, and every reading said in different forms, don't do it. Don't take this job. But it did not make sense to my logical mind. Okay, to end the story, I didn't take the job. I followed the readings. I followed my intuition. And 6 months later, the way things developed, my friend was in the company. He left. The boss that he had, which was super cool, left. And, everything in the company changed. They went a completely different direction. It became a different company, okay? And if I would have made that move, I would have regretted it. That's what I'm talking about. So it's like what's wanting to come up for you this month is when there are situations in your life where you have a passing thought like, again, I think it's going to come up in relationships with you, and it could be someone that or yourself or whatever, where there is nurturing or emotional healing involved, or even like physical health involved, and you're going to have the ability to say, you know what, okay, this is how I think about things, but let me really figure out how I feel about it. And it's like beginning to just in really small things, like follow that intuitive guidance. It's like your inner GPS. Because, as I said in the beginning of the video, for you with this North Node, you will start winning more in your life. And you'll be like, oh my gosh, I am so glad that I followed my instincts. Even though it didn't make sense to my mind, I'm glad I followed my instincts. And so the other thing that's coming up too is it could be like, there's something like, almost like along with the emotional healing and the nurturing and the physical healing, there's something that's coming up regarding like a letdown, or even like, maybe you shouldn't go somewhere. And I mentioned a party earlier. It could be a party or some sort of an event, or something, even a small get together where your intuition, like, I think there's going to be many things this first half of the month, but among those is going to be something where, you're going to have a feeling, I really don't want to do this or go there. Try to follow those inner promptings, even if it doesn't make sense in your mind. And so, look for that the first half of the month. The second half of the month, what I see coming in is I see something where someone in your life from the 16th through the end of the month, this is going to be another opportunity for you to develop this intuition. Someone in your life, and I'm going to say an authority figure. And if you are a regular, watcher of my videos, when I say authority figure, it could mean everything from what we normally think of authority figures, like, excuse me, bosses and supervisors. If you're a parent, it could be like a, parental role. It also could be, authorities out in the world, like, governmental agencies or, law enforcement. These are like authorities, or even like, school or religious authorities. But what it also could be is really close people in our life, especially like in romantic relationships. And a lot of people say, like, I always say, like, they are authority figures. The reason is, it's not that they're over us necessarily. It's that we place them in a position of authority in our life. In other words, they should be, right? They should be like especially our romantic relationships should be right there at the very top of, not in the bottom of all these other. So it's not that they have authority over us. We place them there because it's an important relationship. So something this second half of the month with some sort of an authority figure, could be a boss, could be a romantic relationship, one of those I mentioned. There's going to be a situation where you could be challenged, and you could be challenged to stand your ground. You could be challenged also to be patient about something, okay? And this is going to be something to where if you can pass this test and follow this intuitive guidance, so you're going to have to make a decision with this situation, whatever the situation is, and the decision, if you make it from a correct intuitive guidance, as opposed to trying to figure it out logically in the Gemini, Mercury way to, figuring it out. If you follow that gut instinct, you're going to come out ahead. You're going to come out ahead, and when you come out ahead, it's going to release a lot of worry and anxiety from you. Okay, so if you go down a road that is logical, okay, it could lead to like some like frustration, fear, anxiety type of a thing. If you go down a road of using your intuition, it's going to lead you to a better place, okay? But that's what these challenges are this month, okay? These are opportunities for you to develop your intuition. How else are you going to develop it if you don't have opportunities? And so it's usually, important things that are in our life. There's no reason to, intuition happens because it's something of importance. If it didn't matter, like, oh, well, should I wear, those shoes or these shoes. I mean, you know what I mean? If it's not going to really have an impact on your life, you're not going to have an intuitive thought unless for some reason wearing the red shoes, someone is handing out $1 million to anyone wearing red shoes or something like that. Okay. But normally like the mundane decisions, you know, are not going to get an intuitive hit. So that means that usually it's situations that, you know, are important to us, which means it could be like something, like I said, at work or someone. So you're going to be in this situation the second half of the month. As I said, you could be challenged a little bit to hold your ground and it's either or be patient in holding your ground. So you might have to kind of actively hold your ground, okay, set boundaries, or it could just be a matter of patience or both, okay? But either way, again, one last, you know, little hint about following your intuition. It's going to come as a normal thought, like it'll come like, oh, you know what? Maybe you should do this. Try to listen to those little thoughts and feelings that come in. And if it doesn't make sense, just roll it around and just say, you know, okay, how do I really feel about this? Not how do I think about it, but how do I feel about if I did it this way? And you'll begin to notice in your body, because the intuitive guidance also hits your body. You can feel physical sensations. Your body will kind of tell you. So if you take like, okay, if I did this is the logical thing to do. I'm going to try to figure this out. And you ask your body how you feel about it, and you'll notice that like you're going to get a different sensation. But it's different for everybody, you know, and it's going to take, you know, a little bit of time. So anyway, that is what's happening for you this month. Opportunities to develop your intuitive guidance, your inner GPS system. And it's exciting, you know what I mean? Just listen to that little voice, the thought that comes in that's like quiet. Remember, it's not going to come in with trumpets and chariots, okay? It's just going to be something that rolls in. And try to listen to it. Remember the times when you didn't follow your gut instincts, how it went awry, okay? You're going to get a lot more wins when you follow that intuitive guidance, all right? So anyway, I hope this reading was helpful to you. Thank you so much for watching, liking, sharing, and subscribing. If you'd like a personal reading, there'll be a link in the description box below. And if you could just hit that like button, it really helps with the algorithm gods. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot them out in the comments. I love to interact with y'all. So again, thanks much, and we'll see you on some more videos.